Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video is composed of things that I tinkered with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. This video should contain tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the year. Now, I only plan on leaving this video posted for about 30 days. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to replace the heater core in this Mercury. It's something like a 98 or a 99, maybe Crown Vic, I don't know. Let me take a look. I'm going to use a video on YouTube, and that video is going to be linked in the comment below. So you can use that. It's a Grand Marquis G5. Before you do anything, you want to put the key in the ignition and push the seat all the way back. Both for the front seats, you want pushed all the way back. As hard as some vehicles, you do have to drop the dash down, the steering column down, pull the dash away from the firewall, go out in the engine bay, disconnect the two lines that feed coolant into the heater core. They say it should take a couple of hours. So let me get started. I'll make a tool list because I don't think they had a tool list, and let you know if anything happens other than what I see in that other video. Again, that video is linked in the comment section. First thing I recommend you do, pull the hood. Pull the handle, count to 3, let it go. If your hood does not pop up, this one didn't, you can bang on it a few times and it'll work its way up. Once you have it up, put your hand under there, slide the lever toward the passenger side, release the latch to lift the hood up. If your hood is like this one, the lifts are gone. You have to hold it up with a stick or something. Now, due to the fact that I'm going to be dropping the dash and this car may have airbags, for safety reasons, I recommend that you disconnect the battery. Disconnect the ground, then disconnect the positive. That's just me. Take your chances if you like. Some people don't. If the heater core is leaking, it may have already leaked out enough antifreeze that the antifreeze level is below those lines. Those two lines right there go to your heater core. Disconnect those, pull them away from the firewall, and you can point them up against the firewall there so that they're not leaking antifreeze out. However, if your system is full, you want to go under the car and drain some of the coolant out of the radiator. Find the drain cock, open it up, drain some of the coolant out. If you need to drain some coolant, you come over the driver's side of the car, go under it, come right here on the back corner of the radiator, and you unscrew that nut right there until coolant starts to come out of that drain hole. Catch it in the pan, you can reuse it, as long as you don't get it too contaminated. If it gets some stuff in there, you could strain it out. I used the 8mm, get both of the battery terminals loose. That one had a clamp on it, about a 9mm or flat tip screwdriver. This one I used the regular pliers on, pulled them away, used the pliers to break the hoses free from the heater core pipes, and then slid them off. Really didn't lose maybe 2 drops of coolant because the system is a little low. Another screw or nut that's going to come to play later on with this thing. Wire harness is clipped into it. You might want to go ahead and pull that bolt off. Let me check, it looks like a 10mm, just to get ahead of the game. That bolt off, 11 works, is probably a standard size nut. 10mm was too small. I'm going to remove this panel here. It just pulls away from the back. Untuck it from this trim, and there's clips that snap it in place. So it'll just pull out towards you, toward the back of the car. To get this bottom lip up, you got to lift up on this trim here and work it out. Next, I'm going to unscrew these 3 wire harnesses. I don't want dropping the dash to affect them in any way. And then I'm going to pull this nut out here. So pull all 4 of these nuts out. Make a note how those wires go back together. A 5/16 took the bottom one out. 10 millimeter took that one, and these top 2 out. I'm gonna take the glove box out, open it up, release this little catch here, lift up on it, unhook that, and then pull in the sides of it on both sides and drop the glove box all the way down. Now the glove box is just hanging down here. So on my cable, I slid the cable end down and unthreaded it from that hole of the glove box. Now I'm going to take these 3 screws out. 7 millimeter fits them, and the whole glove box will come out and away from the car. Next, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pull a bolt out there and pull a bolt out the other side to lower this panel on the bottom of the steering column. Side out, the screw on this side out, which dropped the parking brake release. Now this should just pull down and out from the bottom of the column. Let me get that off so I can show you. Pry that down toward the seat. It have a couple of pressure clips that release. Now I have that out of the way. Next, I'm going to remove this hood thing here out of the way. First thing I did was pull this loose, work it out of the way, and then I work this panel out from the bottom, pull it forward and out from release this stuff, and now you see the large bolt there that I need to get loose. Remove this steel plate here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws to take out. They look like 10 millimeter. Wire harness just to make sure it doesn't get damaged when I lower the dash. So pull a latch back, push this in, unplug it. That way you know you're not going to damage any wires. This red thing fell out of there. That kind of stinks, but make sure you have that on there. Pull this screw right here to drop that down and loose, because I don't want these wires being damaged when I drop the dash. I'm going to take my trim clip puller, pull these 2 trim pieces down here, clips here and one here, and pull this down and out of the way so I could see everything that I need to there. Here you can see some of the coolant on the floor. 2 clips pulled off the front, it had a little release tab there. Now I can finish pulling this off so that that plug is loose there. Release the shifter cable assembly stuff. So if you're on a slant, you want to set your parking brake, turn your key on, pull your shifter down as far as you can. Then you're going to remove this small screw here. Man, it looks like a 5 millimeter. And then up under here, you have to take the cable loose there. So let me get this cable strung from up over that, pull this screw out, and show you what I did next. Tiny cable unhooked. I got this out with a 7/32. Now I want to pull that, get it out of the way. That way, I don't have that hanging the steering column up when I drop the steering column. Put that screw back so I don't lose it. Pull this bolt here. Pull the nut from the hood release there. Pull these small nuts here to make room for the steering column to drop down. That's hard to see. And if you look up in there, it's that one. So you come under this trim, down under there to get that bolt. Looks like a 14, 15 millimeter. Bolt there and the nut up there are both 5/8. So you can use a spark plug socket to get that out. We're 5/16. The black ones there 10 millimeter got the mount. 10 millimeter got the hood release. The steering column, I have 4 13 millimeter or 1/2 inch screws. One there, one there, one down there a little bit, and one right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull those 4 13 millimeter nuts, and the steering column should fall down to the seat. Remove those 2 nuts. They look like 10 millimeter. This vacuum line coming across here, you want to pop that loose from the airbox. I'm gonna lift this box up and out of here, push those little tabs in, and pull this box up and out of the way. I worked the vacuum line loose with the clip puller, and both of those were 11 millimeter. I don't know, that may be 9/16 or something. Flat tip screwdriver or bone tool, and you pry this trim up here. Bone tool won't damage anything. Pop those clips loose, work your way across, and then lift this trim up and out of the dash. Over here, so I need to unplug that sensor before I could pull this trim all the way out of the way. Since I have this trim pull, is pull these 3 bolts that mount the dash to the firewall. I got a bolt there, a bolt there, and a bolt on the other side. Let me remove those, and this dash should fall down away from the firewall. Give me access to this heater core box. I have these 3 screws out. I'm gonna try to lift this dash up and away from the firewall, see what happens. Up the dash down. Something seems to be hung up on the driver's side. I believe there's one more nut in here that has to come off. You come under where the airbox is, and you look up there. That nut right there holds the heater core box assembly to the firewall. So that needs to be pulled out, that nut. Now that the dash is down, you need to unplug this wire harness right here. And then there's a nut back here that needs to be removed so you can get the box off the firewall. See that nut down there? That nut has to be removed. The guy said that's a 7/16. Looks like it'll need a swivel. So I'm gonna get a couple of extensions and a swivel, see if I can get that off. Well, I gotta get it off. And I got it off with a 12 millimeter. A couple of extensions and a pivot socket. So let's go ahead and see if we can pull this box out of here. I had to muscle the dash out a little more, position the steering wheel just right, get this out far enough so that I could tilt this box in. Next, I got to take these 5 screws off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will come up. The heater core should slide out of the box. Let me get those. 8 millimeter, same difference. Take the core cover off. Now the core should lift up and out of here. Let me use 2 hands. This core should pull right up out of this box. We have it. The core lifted up out of the box. Got to squeeze the box down past that wire harness. And this is the core here. As you can see, thing is leaking. Probably mainly under pressure because there's still some coolant in there. But let's see how the replacement looks. I have a bunch of coolant down in the box, so I'm going to sop that up with a rag. Put this back in there. The trick is going to be getting that 12 on there. I don't know how that's going to happen. Get this box back in position and see. Looks like the pipes are longer. But the cord looks like the same size. So I guess I'll go ahead in with it. Doesn't have as much of the foam, foam around it like this one had. But probably doesn't matter that the pipes are a little longer. When I lay the core on the ground, the pipes are about the same, so that was an illusion, thinking the pipes were longer. Let me go ahead and slide this down in here, keep this moving. I have the screws back in, securing the core in the airbox. I'm going to maneuver this airbox back up into position and try to get that top nut on there. That's going to be tricky. And then I'm going to put the screws in the bottom of it, hook up this thing here, plug that wire in, and then work on getting the dash back in place. Alright, I'm having a time and a half getting this back in. The reason being, that screw has to be lined up in this notch on top of here. Right now, it may be upside down. So that needs to be turned so that it's lined up right. And hopefully when you lift it up, it'll stick through the hole there and then slide this into the firewall. Haven't been able to do that yet. I tried 3 times. So let me try it again. Screw through there. I can't tell. I'm gonna go with no. Looks like it's lined up though. So let me try to massage this over top of that screw. 2 things I failed to do. One, I'm gonna have to get that screw out of that firewall and start it in here before I can get that in. Number 2, I forgot to put my bracket back on there. So I'm gonna pull those 2 screws out, put that bracket back on there. That is it. Screw. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.